And we won't talk in any depth about it, but there was dysfunctionality in his behavior, which was later considered to have some psychiatric origins. Without going into it, as a child, you don't know that.
No,
there's no
it was
explanation.
just my dad.
Yeah, exactly. But that may have been why he died in the way he died. Because I know that
certainly it would be a factor.
Yeah. I mean, he could see no way out.
No.
And despite being so strong in condemnation, maybe of you without even meaning to, or estrangement, or whatever way, he got locked into his own prison where he could find no way out except by taking his life. I mean, people don't even talk about suicide nowadays because it's such a taboo, but it's a very real reality right now. In the circumstances, many people are finding themselves where they don't have the ability to be honest about their lives and to be at home in themselves and to be okay with what's not okay, to allow them to continue living. That's devastating.
Yes, I've just read a book actually where there's a parent whose child, he's a teenager, and he takes his own life. It's a great book, Take My Hand.
Okay.
And it's a great book for anybody who's in that situation, a parent of a child, teenager who's really struggling, because they talked about how little support they got from the medical services. And
they're not educated.
Some support out there, but you need to know where to go.
Yeah, but they're not even educated fully, because actually the education around grief needs to come from a higher consciousness, which is why I wrote my book. But it isn't mainstream. The ideas about what life and death are, and about the option that people feel if they can't see a vision of a life they want to be in, to just take the exit. Thinking that that's a solution without any awareness of the impact that actually has on a spiritual level. I mean, you're so aware spiritually of the cost of this in your life, but there was a cost to your dad in his life that people don't realize it's not a solution, and the impact it leaves behind. So it left a very real impact with you. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? The legacy of that?
For me, it was all the unanswered questions.
Right.
And the fact that our relationship hadn't been good. Certainly wasn't where I wanted it to be. Because my dad was very charismatic when he wasn't at home quite often.
Right.
Because at home, I guess that was in a sense where he didn't have to perform and he didn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So maybe we saw, as quite often happens, when the people closest to you see some of the worst aspects of your character.
Yeah.
But when he was, I don't know if I can say when he was in a good place, but when we were having good conversations and we were bantering, there was a lot of kind of play on words with a fun sense, because we would have these word games. I loved that because I hero worshipped my dad.
Yeah.
I was the first daughter, and there were just the two of us, me and my brother, but I was the first child. I was the daughter, and dads and their daughters allegedly have this special relationship. So I loved that just sort of sense of play that we could have sometimes, and that conversation that just seemed to flow on some occasions. And I felt like that was a glimpse of how things could be if he was feeling well, feeling balanced, feeling that his life was good.
Maybe a fraction of self-expression, true self-expression from a soul level,
Maybe.
Yeah. Because I think his conditioning was probably very strong as well, causing potentially his troubles.
Yeah, absolutely. But I could see this potential in him. I could see his pain.
Yeah.
I could see how unhappy he was, but could see a potential for so much more. and see him as such a human being with such possibilities, and just wanted him to feel happy and to feel balanced and to feel that his life was in a good place. But when he died, there was no opportunity for us to develop a better relationship, for us to have a close bond, for us to have those conversations. You want to have a relationship with your parent, but maybe with my dad particularly, where you can go and ask for advice, or you can go and share what's happening in your life, or ask what's happening in theirs. And his dying took the possibility for all of that away and left me with the questions of why. Why was our relationship the way it was? Why did I so often feel distanced and disconnected from you? And what was your life growing up actually like, so that I could understand where you were coming from and how you saw the world? All of that, which was and still is quite sad for me.
Yeah.